Okay, well, good morning, everybody. This is the Ministry of Abnormality Twitch broadcast, and welcome to today's show. It is October 20th of 2015. It is a Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, and, well, we have our breakfast shake, and let's get to it. Today we are going to continue working on our Black Dragon commission. It's a very large image. We have 3 of our characters done. We have the ninja, we have the warrior. Yes, Pixie. Yes. We have the warrior, and we have the ranger. And today we're going to be working and hopefully finishing the lines on the necromancer. Now this is going to involve us pretty much drawing these skeletons all morning, and the necromancer himself. But skeletons are one of my favorite things in the world, so I'm happy to be drawing skulls and skeletons all morning. I find it very enjoyable. As always, say hello to Pixie, the love of my life. She will be arguing with me for most of the broadcast, as you probably have seen already. Good morning, Gildebrath. And good morning, everybody in the chat room. As always, you can ask me to talk about anything you want. You can ask me any questions you want. Well, if you replace the dragon with Pixie, somebody in the chat room asked if we can replace the dragon with Pixie. If we replace it with Pixie, there's no chance of them winning, so... See, Pixie always gets her way. She'd kill them out of cuteness. So anyway, yes, Pixie. Okay. So as I was saying, we are going to be... let me show you how this image is going entirely. And we have the dragon in the back, and the scenery. Still a long way to go. But today we're just going to focus on the necromancer. Now, we're also going to be doing something a little different today, and it's that, skulls and skeletons require reference images. So what I'm going to do today, when it gets to drawing those parts, is I have here a 3D program called Cinema 4D. And what I have in that program is I have a skeleton, a 3D skeleton, up, ready, and running. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use it as reference. So, for example, if I need a skull, let's say here, we're going to draw, say, this guy right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hop over to Cinema 4D, place the skull in the angle that I need, and that way I have that reference to draw the skull in the other image. This is because, of course, I do not have an actual human skull in my home, which I believe might even be illegal. So, since I don't have an actual human skull in my home, I wish I did, I will be using this 3D skeleton as reference. It'll also help me reference the different parts of the skeleton's body, since I can use it to kind of check out what goes where. And it's actually a very easy way to get this job done. It's a great way to use as reference. So this is something I'm going to be doing today, but you're not going to see a lot of it. I'll move it over to the main screen every now and then, but most of all, it'll just be on my other screen, and I'll just reference it whenever I need to. So yeah, that's another technique we're going to be using today. It's a very useful technique. I am by no means a 3D artist, but it's useful to have this basic knowledge of how to handle a 3D program so you can use that kind of stuff. It definitely saves me the trouble of having to go through Google Images, searching for skulls at the angles that I need. It just makes my life a lot easier as a reference. Of course, it would be a lot easier if I had an actual skeleton here in my home, but unfortunately I do not have one. I wish I did. So Pixie, are we ready? Okay. let's get to it. I'm going to play some music here, which you, of course, cannot listen to for the purpose of YouTube later on not giving us a copyright strike. And let's get to work. Okay, Pixie, so we're gonna do this every day now, huh? Let me pull on your mustaches, or on your whiskers. There you go. And your ears. I'm gonna massage your ears. The funny thing is that if I want Pixie to get annoyed, all I have to do is rub my head on her belly, and if I rub my head on her belly, she immediately takes a bath. Let's see if that works. There we go. Okay, you gonna take a bath? You're not? Damn, you are stubborn today. Okay, well, she made me look bad. Now I have a head full of hair, which I haven't done in a long time. And wait! Don't chew on the cable. You know, we can't do this every day, Pixie. We have to eventually come to an understanding. Okay, let's just get started. I'm surprised that Pixie is not taking a bath right now. Normally she doesn't like it when I rub my head on her belly. Like all the cats, all of them, when I rub my head on their bellies, they just go into this compulsive bath mode. But oh well. So, how is everybody this morning? No, Pixie? Okay, look. I'm cool with you laying down here and making me uncomfortable and making me hunch over the screen to reach it and all that kind of stuff. I am not cool with you sharpening your claws on the second monitor. Okay? That's not something I'm cool with. Those things are damn expensive and we can barely afford food, so... Yeah, I'm cool with this. This is cool. This is uncomfortable, but cool. See, you sit on my hand. I'm cool with this. You make this. No? There you go. So, good morning to people that are just coming in. In case you're wondering, we will be broadcasting live until 11:40 a.m., at which time I will cut the broadcast and we'll continue tomorrow. My plan today is to finish this necromancer. The necromancer himself, it should not be much of a problem. But there's a lot of bones involved in this, and that's going to take a while. Now, once I'm done with this, tomorrow I'm going to do a little bit of basic shading. Most of all, so I can get some rest from... No, this is too fluffy. So I can get some rest from the drawing stuff. I'm kind of... Shading is a nice change of pace. Oh, that's pretty cool, Candy Cane Steve. What are you sculpting? Candy Cane Steve in the chat room says that he has... he's gonna have his hands busy because he's doing a sculpture. I wonder what he's sculpting. Okay, so I know what we can talk about this morning. I would like to know. Well, I think that anybody in the chat room, they say that if Candy Cane Steve is not sculpting Pixie, then it's a waste of materials. I think everything in this world that is not Pixie is a waste of materials. Right, Pixie? Right? Hmm? Beautiful cat. Okay, so what I want to know this morning is, what is everybody listening to? Oh, okay. Here's an answer to the sculpture thing. That that happens here. We have such a delay on the chat room that anything I ask gets answered a few minutes later. They say that they did some really quick and loose drawings from still life in college the other day, so now you have to sculpt from what you drew. And then I draw the sculptures, and then I have to sculpt from them. So wow, that sounds like the result could be very interesting. Hey, Pixie, what's up? Okay, so what I was gonna ask is, I was pretty interested in knowing what everybody's listening to. I'm not capable of working without music, so right now I'm just listening to a nice little Spotify mix. But I was wondering what everybody was listening to here. Lotiu is doing skulls for the very first time. Drawing skulls is so much fun. I'm so happy this is what I'm doing today. It's like relaxing, I think. Okay, so, but first we do have to draw the necromancer himself, because the skulls are behind him, so, we definitely need him first. Okay, let's see. Ildebrath is listening to Ludovico Einaudi. But he just switched from a hard rock metal playlist. GSM says that they're listening to Postmodern Jukebox. I love Postmodern Jukebox. I'm not going to say that every single song that they've done is brilliant, but they normally hit more than miss with me. I love Postmodern Jukebox. They are great. I highly recommend them to anybody that likes I wouldn't say it's always jazz, but it's always jazzy, I guess, would be the way I would put it. They're very jazzy covers of modern songs. I love it. It's an awesome musical channel. Yodel is listening to Heart right now. And I am listening to. I'm gonna have to admit that this morning I kind of woke up feeling a little bit like power metal tacky kind of thing. So today I'm actually just listening to Rhapsody of Fire. It's just fun. It's fun, and it kind of goes with what I'm drawing here and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, this morning I'm listening to Rhapsody of Fire. It's a very... Like, Rhapsody of Fire is one of those guilty pleasures that I have. It's not bad music. I mean, they're brilliant musicians. But there does come a moment in a man's life when you have to realize that power metal is just the tackiest shit there is on the planet. And don't get me wrong, like before anybody gets angry listening to what I'm saying or anything like that, because like metal fans tend to be very sensitive about their music. They tend to be a little bit sensitive about their music, metal fans. So don't get me wrong, I love Rhapsody of Fire. I listened to it in high school, and I still do, and I love it. And I remember when they did that album with Christopher Lee. Oh, that was just brilliant. It was amazing. And so you know, I love it. I love it, but you gotta admit it's tacky as hell. And I love it. I love it in its tackiness. I love it in how like over the top it is, and how bad their videos are and all that kind of stuff. I love it. But you know, let's call it like it is. You know. Yes, I think Candy Cane Steve hits the nail on the head in the chat room. Candy Cane Steve in the chat room says that that they don't think that power metal pretends to be anything but cheese, and I think that one of the main that the best way to enjoy power metal is to just go in with that mentality that you're going to enjoy some very, very, very intense, smelly cheese, and it's delicious. I love it. I love it. I love it. Power metal is so much fun. At this moment on Spotify, it's Rising from Tragic Flames, from the Dark Wings of Steel. There is something I do have to say about Rhapsody that it's not that I don't like, but I have to admit, I don't... I'm not passionate about groups like coming out with so many albums. Like, Rhapsody of Fire has so many albums, and I do have to admit that as much as I love them, it kind of starts to get very samey, I guess would be the word I'm looking for. You know, it kind of becomes difficult to tell them apart. They start sounding very similar to one another. And yeah, they start getting kind of repetitive after a while. So yeah, I definitely wish that they would take a break every now and then and kind of let a couple of years go by without an album. I love groups that kind of let me breathe between albums, and I actually love groups that just have very few albums. And saying that, I kind of got myself in a Portishead kind of mood, because I love that about Portishead. Portishead has so little albums, and that's just part of what I love about them. That you can, and yeah, just like that, I went from Rhapsody of Fire to Portishead. Okay, GSM in the chat room says they're going to work. Catch you later, GSM. So yeah, you know, I kind of love it when groups have like just a few albums. You know, you can actually enjoy their musical work, not have to worry all the time about what you're missing, and kind of savor it and study it and get an appreciation for it. Rhapsody of Fire doesn't really do that. You know, they just push out albums, They're all excellent quality, but they do start to get a little bit samey after a while. And yeah, like, for example, I don't do concerts. I don't do concerts. I don't like concerts. I don't like places with so many people in them. I'm saving right now. That's why the screen is like not doing anything. So yeah, I don't go to concerts normally. I don't like places with so many people. But when I go to a concert, if I were to go to a concert, I would want to be able to participate, to kind of have fun and sing and jump around and all that kind of stuff. And for that, you need to know the music that you're listening to, right? Now, the thing with these groups that have, like, so many albums coming out so continuously is that you kind of, like, I know certain Rhapsody songs. I know, like, their old albums. I know Power of the Dragonflame and those kind of songs. But, like, right now, I wouldn't know anything because there's just so much stuff. I've been told that music groups kind of make their money off of concerts. That's what I've been told. That's how a music group makes its money for real. Like, off of concerts, not off of the albums. So, if that's true, if a group makes their money off of concerts and not albums, then I don't actually understand why they have so many albums. Especially because then in concerts, people are just not gonna, like, what do they play in a concert? Okay, and we have Mao Draws in the chat room. Good morning, Mao. Always nice to see you. We were talking about power metal and concerts and stuff. Okay, here's one. So, since we're all here, since we're all family now, I want to know, okay, so we start talking about music and what everybody's listening to right now. And by the way, any musical recommendations, I will take them. I love discovering new music and all that kind of stuff. But now that we're talking about music, now that we're on that subject, here comes the question from the chat room. What's your guilty pleasure music? The music you listen to, but you're embarrassed to admit that you listen to. I'm not talking about something that, is not that popular, but you listen to it and it's alright. No, I'm talking about the stuff that's like, no, I hope, like, nobody ever catches me listening to this because this shit is embarrassing, like, that I listen to this. So, what is it? What do you listen to that you're embarrassed to admit that you listen to? Okay, wait. Not embarrassed because, like, shit, I'm never embarrassed. I have no shame. But the kind of stuff that you are aware that's not right. Like, you should not be listening to that crap. Or, just to make it a more... Yeah, okay, so, let's see. Lotiu says that Lennon? I don't think anybody has to feel guilty about listening to Lennon. Actually, most people kind of like Lennon. I'll say this. I don't like him. I think the Beatles are the most overrated band of all time. And I'm not even exaggerating here. That comment has actually cost me friends. It's actually made me enemies to say that. I know people that hate me because I said that. I consider the Beatles to be the most overrated band of all time. There's people that hate me for saying that. Can you believe it? I think the Beatles. And here's the thing: like most people take it very personally, as if they were the Beatles or something. I don't know. But I'm not saying the Beatles are bad. You know, I'm not saying that the Beatles are not a good, like, are bad music or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that the Beatles are overrated. I'm saying that they're not as good as people make them out to be. They're good music, but they're not like the best thing that has ever happened to us. I really, really think that they were just a product of their time. So yeah, you know, I think the Beatles are the most overrated band of all time. And that apparently is a very unpopular opinion. Because really, it has cost me, it's made me some enemies even, to think that. Yeah, there's... Okay, Mao Draws in the chat room says that he recommends we listen to Fight Star, which I've never listened to. And his guilty pleasure music is a group called Busted, which is a pop band he listened to when he was a kid. Never heard of it. Have to check it out. Candy Cane Steve says he also likes Lady Gaga. Lotiu says he doesn't like Rammstein, or pronounced correctly, I think it's Rammstein, or something like that. I think Rammstein is music to listen to. You listen to a song. No, I like Rammstein. I'll listen to one song, and that's it. I'm done with Rammstein for a while. It's not something I can listen to like continuously all day. It also gets a little bit samey after a while. Okay, fair's fair. Fair's fair. I asked you guys to give me your guilty pleasure music. Okay, wait. Before I go with mine, here's another one. This one is a little bit more difficult. Because it's very subjective. Although not really. There is objective terms by which we can evaluate music, but still. Okay, what's not your guilty pleasure music, but the music you listen to, you like and enjoy, but you are totally aware that it's absolute shit. That it is objectively bad music. That you're listening to something that is no good. But you like it and you listen to it anyway. I mean, there's a lot of argument available there. Like, you could say that if you're enjoying it, then it's not bad music and blah, blah, blah. But let's not get into that. Let's just... Okay, you listen to this and you listen to it while you know, or at least you think, or you're of the opinion that this is crap. But you're listening to it anyway. Good morning, Voltus. But you see, that's what I mean, Lotiu. Like, folk music is not bad. It's not poorly made. It's just a matter of taste. But it's not bad music. It's not poorly done. What I mean is music that you listen to and you enjoy, but you know that it's just not well made. That you know it's, like, bad. It's like, this is a bad musician, and They shouldn't be singing, but I enjoy them. I am part of the problem. That's the kind of music I mean. And we all have it. We all have it. It's like... It's like, let's see. For example... okay, here's one for me. Because, you know, I've made you guys... here we go. There we go. Mao Draws admits in the chat room openly, and quite bravely, that he listens to Lil Wayne. And, well, again, it's a matter of opinions. That's why I said, you know, it's all open to argument. But I think that is horrible music. That is real bad. But hey, you know, whatever floats your boat. It's not like I'm any better because my confession. Okay, here's the thing. Wait, let's see what we got here. Okay, Ildebrand says that there's a song they like called "Milk and Cereal" that we'll find it on YouTube. I'll have to look it up. You know, when I get a chance, though. Right now, I'm kind of busy. Okay, here's mine. Here's mine, because, you know, fair is fair. I made you guys confess your deepest, darkest secrets. You know, get naked for me in the chat room, and now it's my turn, I guess. Okay, a few semesters ago... Okay, not a few semesters ago, about a year ago, I used to have interns here working with me. It was a nice experience, and, you know, I could do it back then when money was not as bad as it is now, right? You know, I had a little bit more income back then, so I could afford to pay an intern. So, yeah, I had an intern, and one of the interns was into this... shit, I don't know if... I think she's Korean? Let me check. Wait. I need to see if she's Korean or Japanese because I don't want to. Like make anybody angry. She's Japanese. She's Japanese. Okay. So. Anyway. So yeah, I had this intern, and I love her to death. I mean, she's an awesome person. I love her to death. If she's watching, which I doubt she is, love you. Anyway, so she gets here to my house and she starts listening to this J-pop star called Kyary Pamyu Pamyu. And at first, I was like, what is this? Why do I have to listen to this? This is awful. And she grows on you, man. Like. It's like you can't help it. Suddenly, she grows on you, and you're listening to this J-pop star called Kyary Pamyu Pamyu that is cute as hell, and her videos are insane. They're like crazy videos, over the top. Like, you know, when people say "What the fuck, Japan," that is the kind of stuff. Just crazy, insane. Absurdly, what the fuck videos. And yeah, she got me into this musician, this J-pop star called Kyary Pamyu Pamyu. And I listened to her, and it's like this incredibly overproduced music, and it's bad, guys. It's real bad. But it's fun. It's fun, and I enjoy it, and every now and then I just kind of play a couple of her songs and just kind of bounce around and have fun with it. And it kind of also reminds me of her, you know, my friend back when she was working here and life was a little bit easier and stuff like that. So there's also that. She also got me into this also not very good, but at the same time, a lot of fun, very enjoyable Japanese kind of J-pop metal band called Baby Metal. She listened to it all the time, and again, at the beginning I was like, oh, what is this crap? And at the end I'm singing along with her. It's, it was, yeah, those were fun times. So yeah, those would be like my guilty pleasures, like Kiari, Pamu Pamu, and Baby Metal. It's, and if you haven't checked it out, if you haven't seen any of these, I would highly recommend checking them out. Kiari Pamu Pamu, I would recommend you check out a song called Invader. And there's also another one, but I can't remember the name of the song. Damn. But Invader, check out Invader. And Baby Metal, just kind of, most people know it anyway, so. Like, so yeah, those are my guilty pleasures. Okay, Voltus in the chat room says that he likes to listen to anime songs in his car, and that people passing by are like, "What the fuck?" Which is a lot of fun because I've seen photos of Voltus's car. He drives this kind of very elegant Jaguar, and I've also seen photos of Voltus. He kind of looks like a James Bond villain. So driving around in this elegant Jaguar, looking like a James Bond villain, that's, listening to anime songs, that's probably a very weird moment for people. Bye, Mao. Have a great day. Okay, here's a question for anybody that's a Twitch user, or at least more experimented than I am. Is there any way for the broadcast, like the screen, on screen, to show the chat? Like, can I place the chat like in another window and maybe place it on the screen or something? Because I think it would help a lot the recording of this if I could kind of show the chat, like I could have the chat here and people could see what I'm talking about, because otherwise it's kind of just me responding to invisible people later. So does anybody know anything about this? Like, does anybody know if I can do this? Because I've seen like Let's Players and sometimes they have like the chat window there. Well, I guess I'll have to check that out later, so I don't interrupt too much here. Okay, so yeah, let's continue here. So, if anybody watching is wondering, I like to kind of update every now and then. We are now drawing a necromancer that is calling upon a wall of bones and skeletons and stuff to defend him. The wall is emerging from the floor, and we will be using some 3D references for those skulls and stuff as soon as we get to them. So, got a little bit of work to do. But it's just 9:40. We have 2 hours. But actually, let's do that now. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Oh, wow. Voltus is saying in the chat room that in Italy, or at least where he's from, you will find anime songs in the jukeboxes. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I do wonder, however, how the people in the bar look at you when you play them. But that's whatever. Okay, right now I'm listening to a group called The Darkness. And I'm saying this because somebody in the chat room, I remember, said before that they liked glam rock. And The Darkness is quite a bit of that. So if you like that kind of, 80s, 90s rock, like hair metal and that kind of stuff, I definitely recommend The Darkness. So anyway, so what I'm going to do here is, okay, I'm going to draw this skull, but I need references for it, and I need it at a perfect angle. So what I'm going to do is, as you can see here, I got this other program called Cinema 4D. And what I do with it is I'm going to look for the angle of the skull that I require. So let's see if this is more or less what I need. We might have to rotate the skeleton a little bit. Let's see. There we go. And now what I do is I just move it over to the other screen again. And I use it as a reference for what I need to draw. So I highly recommend this method. It's very effective. And you can use it as reference for certain things that you need to draw. It's very useful. Especially when you're drawing something like a skeleton, because you need to make sure that everything is where it's supposed to be, and it's not always easy to remember these things. And you want to make sure that everything is just right. So, yeah. I also use this method a lot for when I need to draw something that doesn't involve any design. For example, if I have to draw a gun, or a car, or a plane, or something like that, and it's a specific gun, a specific car, a specific plane that I can't design. Like, for example, if you ask me that your character needs to have an AK-47, what I'll do is I'll look up a 3D model of an AK-47 and use that as a reference. Because, I'm not going to design the AK-47. You probably want it to look like an actual AK-47. And I don't have one, and I'm not planning to get one. So, yeah, that kind of helps out. So hopefully that helps out. So I see in the chat room we're having some sort of argument over the quality of music in regards to Queen, and I'm gonna have to admit that I'm in the camp of Queen is awesome. I love Queen. It's just too great. I'm in the I'm in that camp. So, yeah. Okay, give me a second. The student's sending me a message, and it's a message I want to reply to right now. In the meantime, let's see what's going on in the chat room. Okay, so one of you says Queen sucks. The other one says that's blasphemy. I agree. That's blasphemy. And somebody else says that they're more of a Deep Purple guy. I love that, like, third person that gets into conversation like, nope, you're both wrong. Deep Purple, forever. Okay, let's see if I remember. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Okay, okay, so I'm sorry for the interruption. What I'm doing right now is a student is asking me in the chat room, well, in another chat room, a student from the university, like where they can find visual references of internal, like the internal parts of the human body. And I think that's an interesting question. So, and I'm trying to actually help them out. So, okay, let's see. Okay, let's get back to work. Actually, that's not a bad idea. The person in the chat room recommending Grey's Anatomy. Because, I mean, you know, Grey's Anatomy is an actual book. Like, this is not, like, I mean, I know it's a series. But it is an actual book. Okay, so that's that. I helped. Oh, okay, you were talking about the book, okay. It's because since you... Okay, wait. Okay, now those are okay. Let's see what happened in the chat room while I was doing that. So, oh, we're still discussing Queen. Okay. Now back to this skull. Okay. I do love me some skeletons. One of my favorite things. I'm trying to actually start a collection of skulls here in my house. Naturally, not real skulls, you know. I can't actually do that. But I am trying to start a skull collection here. It's very, very small for now. Has, you know, a Mexican skull that a friend gave me as a present, and basically any skull I can get my hands on, I will, you know, acquire one way or another and place it here in my home. There we go. Nice. Okay. Okay, apparently Candy Cane Steve killed the chat room with the comment of that they enjoy drawing creepy ass insides of people. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Okay, so let's do this now. So, okay, let's see. Sternum. Now, of course, we're not going to leave this skeleton just like that. We have to add a bunch of charms to it. I mean, it's magic, dude. And I do love my details, so... Okay. So, let's continue. Now we go with the sternum. Okay, I'll reference that in another on another layer so I can actually kind of do it right. You can actually tell if a skeleton was a male or a female by looking at their clavicle, amongst other things. I don't know this by experience, though, because first of all, I'm not a forensic scientist, and second, because I've never actually had the opportunity to prove if this is true. But as far as I've read in anatomy books and stuff like that, there are differences between the male and female clavicle. So you can actually kind of tell the difference between a male and a female by just a skeleton by looking at their clavicle. Again, I don't know that for sure. Let's spam this spam bot. I don't have a lot of medical viewers, I suppose, that could corroborate what I just said, so please take it with a grain of salt. I might be absolutely wrong. Yeah, this is the staff that we decided was a hobbit skeleton. Halfling skeleton. Yeah, so it could be nice and small and he could carry it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add like a bunch of little like details and kind of, you know, nothing too defined, just kind of, because that's one of the things I kind of don't like about fantasy skeletons when you see them and all that kind of stuff, and it's that, I mean, I like to suspend my disbelief, but I also like it a lot when fantasy tries to at least come up with an explanation. It doesn't even have to be good. And one of the things I don't like about fantasy skeletons and stuff is that they rarely ever, not that I've seen much, but they rarely ever occupy themselves with the whole matter of how are these things held together? You know, how do these things get held together? And I think it's fun to think about it. You know, I think it's fun to think about how these skeletons are being held together. Okay, so right now I'm referencing the rib cage on my 3D screen. See, this is what I'm doing. I'll show you. See, I got this. Oh, it did? Oh man, I still haven't played Divine Divinity. I want that game so much. Wait, no. Wait. You're talking about Divine Divinity, not Divinity Original Sin. Right? Am I right? Yeah, we have to get this. Right. Oh, okay. Here's a question in the chat room. Where did my passion for bones and skeletons come from? Okay, I was well, you know, I've always been a geeky kind of fantasy kid, and it's like it's always been a part of like the geek of the fantasy kind of culture and stuff to, you know, to have skeletons in them and bones and stuff like that. And I've always been like passionate about like magic and that kind of stuff, and I don't know, it just kind of flows naturally with it all. Wait, this is not right. Just kind of flows naturally with it all, you know. You kind of They kind of all connect together so well. So I guess when I was little, I just thought they were cool. But I do have to admit that later on in life, I kind of found a little bit more philosophical justifications for my passion for skeletons and skulls. And I suppose the most important one would be that I kind of found that skeletons are something that we all have inside of us, and yet people are afraid of them. So I always thought that was fascinating, because it's like, in a very kind of profound kind of way, it kind of means that people are mostly afraid of what is in them. You know, people are afraid of who they are inside. And I always thought that was fascinating. I always thought that was very interesting, how people are afraid of what's in them. Skeletons are something that we all have inside, and yet people are afraid of them. I remember a comic, but I can't remember who drew it, that kind of had this doctor telling a mother that there was a skeleton inside her baby, and the mother was like freaking out and going like, "Get it out of it, you know, get the skeleton out of my baby," and stuff like that. Now let's see how many ribs we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and we're missing the 2 fake ribs. Great. This worked out quite nicely. So yeah, you know, I've always thought that's fascinating, how people are so afraid of something that's inside of them. And so yeah, there was a part in my life where, you know, it was probably just for shock value and all that kind of stuff. But eventually I did grow to be kind of passionate for skulls and skeletons, and as an artist, you know, when you kind of become passionate about anatomy and that kind of stuff, because you have to. Like, as an artist, you have to. You can't not be passionate about the human body and anatomy and stuff. It's kind of required. So, as an artist, when that kind of also took place, it all just kind of played out real well for, like, what I need in life and what I do and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I guess that's where my passion for skeletons and skulls comes from. Yeah. So they say in the chat room that Divine Divinity has a skeleton that questions how it works and how it exists and how it thinks. And after they think about it, they just fall apart. Yeah, that sounds about right. So yeah, I love skeletons, and I always remember, like, my favorite characters in fantasy and all that kind of stuff would be the ones that would have, like, bone armor or a skull helmet and stuff like that. I remember I don't know if you guys remember Willow. Of course you do. Like, this is my audience. Of course you guys remember Willow, the movie. And I remember the bad guy, like one of the bad guys in Willow, had like a skull helmet. No, I thought it was so cool. Oh, actually, wow, this is actually quite therapeutic, because I'm remembering stuff from my childhood here. But I also remember, like, one of the earliest characters that had a skull for a face, and I thought was, like, super cool. I don't know if you guys have read it, but when I was young, my parents gave me. Okay, when I was young, I used to live in New York, right? When I was a kid, we lived in New York. So our parents would send me and my sister to Colombia to visit our family and stuff, like on vacations and stuff like that. And so they would get us like books for us to read on the plane. And that's actually where my passion for reading and fantasy comes from, because they would let us like go into the bookstore at the airport and choose what books we wanted. So I remember as a little kid, I chose the Chronicles of Narnia, and that's where I read the Chronicles of Narnia. I actually told you guys about this on another broadcast. But also, one time I saw this book that had like this character riding a horse on its cover, and he had a skull mask, and there were antlers coming out of the skull mask, and he was riding a horse, and he had a sword and that kind of stuff. And I thought, wow, that looks amazing. I want to read that. So they got me the book because it was like a fantasy novel, and apparently it was good for kids. My parents were fortunately not like obsessed with what is appropriate and what is not, so they let me get the book with the horned, skull-faced character on the cover, and it was the Chronicles of Prydain, also known as the Black Cauldron. And in the Black Cauldron, an amazing fantasy series by author Lloyd Alexander. I highly recommend it. There's also a Disney movie called The Black Cauldron. It's one of the lesser known Disney movies, and it's one of my favorites. That one and The Sword and the Stone. I love those movies, and they're some of the lesser known Disney movies, but I love them. Anyway, so yeah, they get me The Black Cauldron to read on the plane, and yeah, that was what I read on the plane on my way to Colombia that year. And later on, they got me another book in the series called The High King, and I loved it. And the character from that book called the Horned King. He was the bad guy. He was one of the bad guys, not the ultimate bad guy, but one of the bad guys. He was amazing. Like he was this badass with a skeleton mask and antlers and stuff like that, and I loved him. I thought he was the coolest thing in the book. I couldn't wait for him to show up in the book. And later on, I saw Willow, and there was this other guy in Willow that had that skull mask and stuff like that, and I guess that's just how I fell in love with skulls. So yeah, I mean, if any of you are looking for a nice fantasy series to read that's kind of old, tried and true, and maybe might have escaped your attention, I definitely recommend The Chronicles of Prydain by Lloyd Alexander. Awesome series. There's a Disney movie out of it, in case you want to watch that. There's a magical prophetic pig. And yeah, it's pretty cool. So there you go. A nice little story from my childhood and why I like skeletons and skulls so much. I have shared with you. Now give me another question so I can talk for another hour. Besides, the chat room went kind of silent. And I see that they mentioned Skeletor in the chat room. Skeletor was my favorite part of He-Man. I was never very fond of his voice, though. I mean, now, as an adult, it's kind of funny and campy, and you kind of learn to appreciate it because of that. But as a kid, I wanted Skeletor to have a badass voice, not that squeaky voice that they gave him. I was always disappointed in Skeletor because of that. I always thought he should have like a super badass kind of voice and stuff like that. Okay, let's see how we're doing. Oh, this is going to take longer than I thought. Skeletons take a while to draw. It's true. Okay. Ildebrand asks in the chat room, what is the biggest pizza any of you have eaten alone, and what was the topping? I can answer that. I can answer that. Although I don't think I'm going to be winning any contest, though. You know, it was just a large pizza. You know, extra large pizza. Okay, here's the thing about me. Let's learn a little bit about O. I have what I like to call an adaptable stomach. Now, what that is, this is a term I made up, okay? An adaptable stomach is that I will eat as much food as there is. So if you give me 2 slices of pizza, I'll eat them and I'll be okay. But if you give me an entire pizza, I will eat it. My stomach is the size of the amount of food that there is. It's an adaptable stomach. I can eat all the food in the world. I can eat little. I'll be okay. So yeah, you know, I'll eat an extra large pizza all on my own. Depending on the cheese, depending on what cheese it's made from, I might get some heartburn, but god damn it, man, I'm 36. You know, I'm 36. It's only natural for me to eat an entire extra large pizza on my own and get heartburn. You know, come on. I age well, but come on. In any case, one time I was spending the night alone in a motel in Atlanta, waiting for the next day to like catch a plane, and I ordered I think it was from Pizza Hut. I ordered an extra large pizza with black olives and mushrooms. And I just sat there in the hotel room reading whatever I had gotten from the convention, and I ate that entire thing. This was 2007. No, wait, was it 2000? Yes, it was 2007. Good times. Candy Cane Steve says that they're allergic to soy, so Pizza Hut is death for them. But we don't have Pizza Hut here in Colombia, so I don't really know what you're talking about. Does Pizza Hut have soy? Please explain that, because this is something I would like to know. We don't have Pizza Hut here in Colombia. We just got Papa John's, and I haven't tried it yet, but I want to. It's just too full, so I'll try it when things calm down a little bit and I can go without having to stand in a line. Because I don't stand in line for nothing. Hate standing in lines. And I'm definitely not going to stand in line for pizza when I could just call from my house and have one come to me. Let's make this here a little bit larger so people can see what I'm doing better. There we go. Oh, wow, okay. So Candy Cane Steve says that, at least in the UK, Pizza Hut puts soy in all their bases. Wow, that's, oh, I didn't know that. I don't eat soy. I try to avoid soy. Mostly because, well, first of all, I used to be a vegetarian. So I kind of got sick of soy. And second, because I'm trying to get fit and I'm trying to build some muscle. And as far as I've been told by the nutritionist and the people at the gym and all the people that have seen me and all that kind of stuff, that have given me sort of appointment, like all these appointments and all these things that I have to do at the gym and all that kind of stuff, they always say the same thing, and it's that if you're a male and you're trying to build muscle, avoid soy, because soy raises male estrogen levels, and that is not something you want when you're trying to build muscle. So yeah, I avoid soy if I can. I'll have soy sauce occasionally with Chinese food, but I'm also trying to avoid Chinese food because it's aside from it being like incredibly unhealthy, there's also the factor that Chinese food is it always goes the same way for me. Chinese food, I order Chinese, I eat it, I think, oh, this is amazing, I'm so glad I ordered this. 2 days later, I'm still eating Chinese food and thinking to myself, why the fuck did I order this thing? I am sick and tired of it. I'm just eating it because I don't want to throw it away. So eventually I kind of said, you know what, maybe I don't order Chinese food this time. And yeah, I don't order Chinese food anymore. Okay, sorry. Okay, Candy Cane Steve in the chat room says that they're allergic to soy. I'm not allergic. I'm actually not allergic to anything, which is very lucky. When I was a kid, I was supposed to be allergic to cats, but either I grew out of it, or it was a lie that my mother told me so I wouldn't bug her to get me a cat. If that was it, well, she won, because I never got a cat while I lived with them. But if it was not a lie, well, fortunately, I grew out of it. So, not allergic to cats anymore. So, there you go. In your face, Mom. Your little boy ain't allergic to cats anymore. Yeah, I don't. Candy Cane Steve, I don't really see how it works for you to be a vegetarian that's allergic to soy. I mean, of course, there's a lot of other options, though. When I was a vegetarian, because I was a vegetarian for 14 years, I would eat a lot of soy. And, later on, not actually too long ago, I found out that, it's not good for, if you wanna get in shape as a male. So, there you go. Yeah, Mom, in your face. She knows I respect and love her. But in your face, I have 4 cats now. What do you have to say about that? And my dad doesn't like them either. He doesn't like cats. I just look at them and say, how can you not like that? How can you look at a cat and not think that's beautiful? Hey, Rajan. Yeah, that's true. The 4 cats have me. Not the other way around. Okay. Manga Studio. How do I make just a simple shape? Here's something I've never actually done in Manga Studio. Just a simple shape. I just need a simple shape. No, this is the fill. Okay. Here we go. Wait, what? What happened? Come back. Okay. Now, what? What's going on? Okay, I'm moving in this direction. No. Oh, I didn't know that about Manga Studio, and I do not like it. Apparently in Manga Studio, if you put your mouse pointer here at the edge, it'll move you in that direction. Can't say I'm crazy about that feature, because it kind of mixes everything up. Okay, whatever. Okay. As you can see, I'm not very how can I say this? I'm not exactly the most able with Manga Studio, so yes. So sometimes I get real mixed up. I'm lost. Yeah, it's not a feature I'm crazy about, to be honest. I'll have to check later and see if I can deactivate it, because yeah, I can see that getting in the way and getting old pretty soon. Okay. Let's see this from a different angle. This ribcage needs a little bit of work. More. Let's see what I can do with it. Let me reference my ribcage here in 3D. See where I went wrong. This ribcage looks wrong. Okay, let's see what I'm gonna do here. Okay, wait. So what's happening here is I'm not happy with this rib cage. So what I'm doing is I'm referencing the rib cage on the other screen here, trying to get the right angle that I need. Not that inclined. Okay, now let's see. What I'm gonna do is let's render this in the cell renderer. Let's just do outline and edges. See how that looks. Come on. Come on, render that crap. Okay. Why isn't it rendering? What am I doing wrong? Stick away the illumination. Let's see what happens then. Wow. Okay. Totally lost here. Why are you not rendering? Ah, here we go. Finally. What? You're just rendering a selection? What's going on here? Oh wow, this is taking forever. Why? Am I like rendering this at some sort of super resolution or something? I don't think so. Let's just render the outline, see how that goes. I don't get it. Am I like asking too much of my computer at this moment? Is that what's going on? Because this is taking forever. Let's okay, no, don't save. Let's do the output. It's not too big. I wonder what the problem is. Let's see. Seems my okay, wow. This is killing my computer for some reason. Let's see if maybe something else. Let's see what else I can open here. Okay. Here's when I made the sofa as a reference for the sofa that I was for the other commission that I have to do. Let's see. Okay, this render view is actually quite quick. So yeah, it's definitely that specific skeleton. Okay. It's not convenient. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just... Okay, let's do this a little bit more old-fashioned. Let's just... Okay, here we go. Go back into Manga Studio. Come on. Here we go. We're going to reference this right next to the image that we're working on. And wow, I don't know what's up with this skeleton, but rendering it was killing my computer. Back to the skeleton. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this and make this a little bit more useful. Okay, there we go. Let's see what's wrong with this rib cage. Something here is not working the way I wanted it to. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to duplicate this layer, just in case, as a backup. And we're going to erase these ribs. I know, we just spent, I don't know how much time working on them, but that's what I'm going to do. I've told you guys before, we do whatever it takes for this to look as good as we can. We pay the price. And I am nothing if not willing to put in the effort to make sure a skeleton looks great. Okay, now we also erase here these bones, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this layer, grab here, fill it in with nothing, come back to my red layer, which apparently I moved for some reason, erase that. Let's do this ribcage right. Okay, so let's do a little bit of geometry here. Okay, we're gonna have that. We need to have a frontal region of this. Let's darken this a little bit. Okay, this is gonna be our frontal region. We will establish a nice 3D simplification of the issue. The ribs have to actually go all the way over here, so this would be more or less the shape of these ribs. I'm sorry if this is boring to watch, but this has to be done right. Okay, now comes the bottom part of the ribs, which we will, it's gonna come down to here. We're not including his hips because, hips are not included. I'm gonna bring that here. So this is actually gonna close here. And we open the ribs up here and here. Now this would all be a lot easier if I just trace the ribs, but we don't do that shit here. That ain't how we roll. Tracing is for lazy artists. I ain't down with that. Does this go down? I'm actually feeling my own ribs here. It's awesome. I'm drawing this. Living on a Prayer by Bon Jovi is sounding in my headphones. It's like, oh yeah. This is the moment. The decisive moment. Okay, so I think we have this angle right? Okay, and this is gonna come in this fashion right here. Okay, and we're gonna have, wait, we need to put this layer, where is it? Here we go. I'm gonna put this layer underneath so I can paint on top of it. And we have, okay, 1, 2, 3. Sometimes you just forget this stuff, I guess. 4, 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm missing a rib. Oh, no, here it is. 10, 11, 12. Okay, great. I was just about to lose all trust in this model. If it ain't got 24 ribs, then it's wrong. Four, 5, and 6. There we go. Okay, this comes here on top. This is not actually a bad idea. You just feel kind of, okay, where's everything? Here's a little bit of a mistake. The clavicle comes on top of this. Okay, there we go. So, okay, now this is what we need to solve best. This is going to come in a very horizontal manner. So it's going to come from here. We're going to come down a little bit like so. Okay, like this. This is going to be our kind of base rib. Okay, and the rest, let's see. I'll reference my 3D software here. Now let's look at it from the front. Rotate this a little bit. Okay, there you go, straight. There we go. Okay, so that's one rib. Now 2. Three. A little bit too together, though. Okay. Let's see. Let's fill this in. And now we're going to have, okay, so here's 1. Here comes 2. We need 3. But these things need to be a little bit more separate. I'm sorry if I'm mumbling here, but this actually helps me focus. And 4. Okay, this one grabs here. These come here. There we go. Now it's working. And we're going to bring this one here. Oh, okay, this is looking better. Yes, much better. Okay. Now we can kind of mold this stuff. Okay. Nice and separate. Matilal asking if my prices have changed from 2011. I would venture to guess that they have. You know, price of living and all that. Yeah, I'd venture a guess that they have changed. I mean, I'm not... Okay, this is a matter of opinions. And I would venture to say... I would dare to say that I am not an expensive artist. I am not. I am actually quite cheap to hire compared to a lot of other artists. But of course my prices do have to rise a little bit. Not because I think like I'm famous or I went diva or anything like that, but you know, just cost of living. Of course, I'm not. I can't tell you how much this one costs because, privacy of the client and all that kind of stuff. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Okay, come on. Work. Yes, this feels much better than what I had. I can actually feel the shape of the ribs better. Oh, I'm actually not even joking. I'm available for a bunch of services. Ildebrand. Let's see. I also work for hire as a makeup artist. So actually, this time of year, I got a few appointments scheduled to do some makeup, some Halloween makeup. I actually got my first appointment of this year on Saturday. Let's see what else. What other services do I offer? Yes, Yodel. Prices are adjusted for inflation, is what I'm trying to say here. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not the kind of person that will raise his prices because I think I'm famous and now I should charge more. No, I just charge what I need. I believe that's what I should charge, what I need. And I know a lot of artists charge because their name and all that kind of stuff. I don't really dig that. I think it's nice to have something that's affordable, so people people can get it. If I'm going to charge a lot, I'll charge a lot to a company or something like that they can pay for it. Anyway, okay. So yes, I do offer services as a makeup artist. What else do I offer? Let's see. I also offer voice services. Yeah, I occasionally work with my voice. So that's another thing I can do for people that need voice. Yes. So yeah, I don't just offer drawings. I can do makeup. I can do voice. I'm versatile. I should just draw this directly on. So, next question. Come on. What time is it? 10:40. Okay, there's a nice idea in the chat room. Ildebrand says, people in the chat, let's open a Kickstarter to have O sing the Christmas songs. Or whatever we decide. Maybe Lady Gaga. Okay, I do have one recommendation though, and it's don't use Kickstarter. Use Indiegogo or use anything else. Basically, because remember, I have been a part of some failed Kickstarters, so on Kickstarter my name is not exactly It's sad, but it's true. On Kickstarter, my name is not exactly good business. I mean, like, it's not something I talk a lot about, but yeah, you know, like, there is that. But still, yeah. Hey, I'm a mercenary. If you pay me enough money to sing, I'll sing for you. I can even do it William Shatner style, kind of talk, you know, kind of. I can do that. Yeah, like I can give you a dramatic reading. Which is actually something I've always wanted to do anyway. Ah, these ribs are looking so much better now. Yes. There's so many ribs to draw here. Oh, okay. Whatever. One thing at a time. One thing at a time. Wait, I'm kind of losing control here of where this is going. Okay. Actually, there are parts of Rhapsody of Fire that I could do, and it's like the beginning of some of the songs where they would hire Christopher Lee to kind of do voiceover work, and you know, it wasn't so much singing as it was just him talking, which is kind of like the way his CDs go anyway. You know, I don't know if any of you have heard any of Christopher Lee's metal albums, but it's mostly just a guy he hires to sing and him talking. And that's kind of the way I would do it. Oh, a dramatic reading of a Lady Gaga song. Wow. Okay, let's see. Let's give you guys a taste. Let's do a dramatic reading of Poker Face. Let's see if we can do this. Let's see if we can pull this off. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so I wanna hold them like they do in Texas plays. Fold them, let 'em, hit me, raise it, baby, stay with me. I love it. Love, game, intuition, play the cards with spades to start. And after he's been hooked, I'll play the one that's on his heart. Okay, this next part is difficult because, oh, 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 E, O, O, O. I'll get him hot, show him what I've got. Here we go again. Oh, 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 E, O, O, O. I'll get him hot, show him what I've got. Can't read my, no, he can't read my poker face. She got me like nobody. Can't read my, no, he can't read my poker face. She is gonna let nobody. That kind of, yeah, that's not too bad. That worked for you guys? Yeah, I can do a dramatic reading. Oh no. I mean, no. It's not. Of course, it's not Christopher Walken level of awesome. It's definitely not Christopher Lee level of awesome, and it is absolutely not Vincent Price level of awesome. But I've got my thing going on. I can hold my own. Not against them, but I can do a dramatic reading. Oh yeah, I could do. Yeah, it's nice to know I have that. First time I've ever done a dramatic reading of Lady Gaga, but. Oh, Christopher Walken read that? Oh, I haven't seen that. I'll have to check it out. Yeah, I've actually wanted to do that. Not like read Lady Gaga lyrics, but yeah, I've planned to kind of read Lovecraft and Poe on YouTube. And yeah, we've actually talked about this before on the broadcast. You guys recommended that I would that I should talk to. Oh shit, I forgot what their name is, but I'll look it up. These people that make audiobooks, and you can volunteer. Or just kind of make my own. Okay, now these ribs look the way I needed them to. That took way longer than it needed, but at least I got what I needed out of it. Okay, let's delete this. There we go. We can bring this back to show. Okay, now that was some quality broadcast right there. Like I will be damned if that doesn't get me at least a couple subscribers. And hopefully it got a couple of you wet. Oh, spam bot. Great. Didn't get me subscribers, didn't get anybody wet, but I got a spam bot. Okay. I'll take what I get. That might actually be a good idea for occasional YouTube fun and stuff. Dramatic readings of stuff that should not be dramatically read. Ooh, how about a children's story? What children's story could I do a dramatic reading of? Oh, and the awesome part is this is going to be on YouTube for all eternity. No, but I mean like a cutesy... Because yeah, I could do a dramatic reading of Narnia, but first of all, I'm not really... Like, we've talked about Narnia, I'm not really into it anymore. But I mean like super cutesy children's stuff. Like, like Dr. Seuss or something. Like a real dramatic reading of a Dr. Seuss story. Give it that nice dramatic flavor. Or Curious George. Oh, that would be so much fun. Let's see. I think the Hans Christian Andersen is past the copyright depending on what you grab. I'm pretty sure there's some newer editions that might have the copyright thing, but in general, like depending on how old you go, it's probably going to be public domain by now. because we're talking about something that's real old. But then again, I don't think any of it would fall to copyright, because that is definitely parody. So it's going to fall under parody, and you can do whatever you want. So I can read anything I want, and parody will cover me this time. So yeah, I could read new stuff as well, just as easy. It's parody. As long as I'm not like reading something that is just kind of, I'm not reading a complete book, or reading something that actually does go with that voice or stuff like that. As long as I can argue parody, I'm good. I'm pretty sure there's rights involved with something like Curious George and Dr. Seuss. But also, like what I just did with Lady Gaga lyrics, like that's parody. That's parody, and it's going to be covered there. So I think we're good. Like, I could get, let's see. What else could I read? I could read, let's see. Let's look for Dr. Seuss. Which one? Which Dr. Seuss can we go for? Let's see. Oh, the places you'll go. Ah, great. Here we go. Let's see how this goes. Let's give it a shot. I'm not going to read all of it, though, because I have to, like, work. But, okay, let's see. Let's see. Oh, look at this paragraph right here. This is going to be... Oh, okay. Let's see. My throat is dry. Maybe I'll get something to drink after this. Okay. Congratulations. Today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. You're on your own. And you know what you know. And you are the guy who'll decide where to go. Oh, that works. I love it. I love it. I don't know why that's so much fun to me, but it is. Why is that so much fun? I don't know. Oh, you think? Okay, Yodel says in the chat room that it's a little ASMR. Now, for anybody watching or listening that doesn't know what ASMR is, that is Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response. Basically, you either listen to something or watch a video that stimulates your senses. This is actually something I'm going to have to look into, because I enjoy doing that far much more than I should. Why? I don't know. Like, why I enjoy it so much, I can't tell you. But I do enjoy it a lot. And it kind of relaxes me, to be honest, to read stuff like that. Like, I actually do that. I have that hobby. I'm totally honest here. Like, I sit down here in my house alone and read out loud to myself. I enjoy it. So, hey, if there's like I'm gonna give it a shot. I suppose my biggest limitation there would be the quality of my recording equipment. I don't know how the audio is right now. Would you guys mind telling me? Like, what's the audio like right now? Is there too much noise in the background? Is it like super bad? Because this is actually something I might be willing to do, just for the fun of it. I might have to change my setup a little bit though. Make sure I'm working in a less noisy environment. And by the way, if anybody listening or watching is wondering if those ASMR things work, they absolutely do if you get a good one. I've listened to them, and yeah, they do kind of make you all tingly and stuff. They are pretty interesting on the way they stimulate the senses. Especially if I've listened to some with like some women with amazingly awesome voices, and they are very interesting. I highly recommend that you check it out. But yeah, I'd like to know how the audio quality is, because I might need to do some adjustments to my setup here so I could record stuff. No answers there. There is a level of noise, probably the fan. Yeah, I do have fans on all the time. I'm sorry if that annoys anybody, by the way, but it's hot. I'm actually going to try to reorganize my office so that, like, since I'm doing this broadcasting thing so often now, and I plan to continue doing it, I was kind of thinking I should reorganize my office in a way that's more efficient for me to broadcast and maybe receives less noise and stuff like that. Also in a way that I can place the microphone more efficiently. Right now the microphone is way over there. You can see it over here. Well, actually you can't see it. I have to... Okay, here's the microphone. Now as you can see, that's pretty far away from me. It's right next to the computer, to the CPU. And, I was thinking, okay, maybe I can reorganize this so that it kind of works a little bit more efficiently. So, we'll see what I figure out. This is all very experimental for me, as you guys know. But it is actually a hobby of mine. It is something that I do just for fun, reading stuff out loud. And if it's something that entertains people and that people might want to watch, I'll be glad to kind of give it a shot. It's after all something I actually want to do, so why not? I mean, it's not the most amazing voice on the planet, but if it's something people like and enjoy and stuff, why not? Okay, now that we're not working on those ribs, things are back to being quite quick. Let's reference. Okay, here we go. Where's the femur? Here we go. Which femur do I have? Okay, we have the right femur. There we go. Let's move this over to the other screen so I can actually look at it. Okay, but actually I am going to have to go get something to drink. That does dry you up. So let's, and to the bathroom. It's about time I went to the bathroom. So, okay, let's see. Be right back. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so we are back. And I see Voltus is also back. Welcome back, Voltus. I'm guessing you're... Oh yeah, you are home now. Man, did you miss the dramatic readings? That's too bad. Okay. Pixie, you're kind of in the way. Come on, move. So apparently everybody's back, including Pixie. Now, the reason Pixie is back is not because she loves me, but because during this little break that I took, I actually made myself the quickest cheese sandwich in the world. I took just a piece of jalapeno American cheese, put it in the microwave with a slice of bread, and ate that thing because I was hungry. And, well, you know, cheese, cats, Pixie smelled that thing and said, I want me some of that. But I don't give it to her because it's jalapeno cheese, so I don't think it's good for her. It's probably not even good for me either. So I'm not going to give her any jalapeno cheese. But now she's here because she saw me eating cheese and she wanted some, so... So anyway, Voltus, while you were out, we did dramatic readings. And it was fun. That jalapenos. I can feel the jalapeno. So good. Okay. But we'll do another at the end of the broadcast then. Just for fun. I actually like doing it very much. So anyway, we are down to the last half hour of our broadcast. So, I'll be taking your questions now. What would you like me to talk about now? Let's see how we're doing in this chat room. Okay. Am I familiar with Roll20? You mean the open source gaming system? Because if that's it, yes. Yes, I am familiar. If I'm mistaken and it's not that, then no, I'm not. And as curiosity will be the death of me, if I'm not, then I want to know more about it. Oh, okay, then no, I'm actually not familiar with it. It's a way to coordinate people that want to play? Okay, tell me more. How does it work? Tell us more. Because some of us are living our miserable lives without people to play with, so... Hey, it might be useful. Okay, so you say you can play pretty much any system on it. But what really catches my interest is that part where you say it's a way to coordinate people that want to play. So how does that work? It has a search engine, so any GM can allow random to join. That sounds interesting. I'll have to check it out. Is it like easy to find, or does this require a link? Because if it's easy to find, I can just look it up. Let's see. Oh, okay. I'll definitely look it up as soon as I'm done here. Sounds like something I'd be curious about. Okay, so here's what we can do. Oh, it's .net? Ah, crap. Wait. My headphone actually. Yeah, I kind of stood up and my headphone got tangled, and now it kind of popped out. Fortunately, these do actually pop out, so let's just put them back in. I would kill myself if these, like, if I broke these headphones. They're very fancy. They're Bose headphones. See? In any case, okay. Yeah, I'll definitely check it out as soon as I'm done here. Roll20.net. I'll make sure to check it out, see what's what. Okay, so here's something we can do. Product placement. Do you work for them? Hey, I'll do product placement. I don't care. If people are willing to pay me to talk about their stuff, I will do it. I don't care. I'm trying to make a living here. It's difficult stuff. I'm trying to make a living. I'm trying to make a better life for me and my cats. I don't work for how do you pronounce it? Here in Colombia we say Bose, but I don't know how you pronounce it or even where it's from. No, I don't work for them, but I do understand that they're some of the best audio equipment that you can find in the world, so. I do talk a lot about Spotify, but Spotify is awesome, man. I'll talk about stuff I think is awesome. And at the same time, I am trying to make a living, so if anybody wants to pay me to promote anything, I'll do it, but gotta be honest, if I don't believe in your product, can't do it. Some things money just can't buy, and can't talk about a product I don't believe in. So, okay, here's something we can do for the end of today's broadcast, since I actually do have fun reading stuff. So for the end of today's broadcast, which is in 20 minutes. Why don't you guys in the chat room decide what you would like me to read? And I'll read whatever you guys want me to read. Within reason, of course. I mean, as long as I can read it, as long as it's not illegal for me to read it or anything like that. Where it won't get me banned from Twitch or something like that. But, yeah, let's see what funny thing you guys can come up for me to read. And I'll read it at the end of the broadcast. I mean, whatever shows up and I think is funny, I'll read that at the end of the broadcast. Now, if I remember correctly, when I spoke last week about drawing this character, I kind of predicted that it would take me 2 broadcasts to finish this one, to finish this guy. And apparently I was right. It is going to take me 2 broadcasts to finish this guy. Those skeletons really, really take some time. I love them, though. So it's Bose? Okay. Apparently, my headphone brand is pronounced Bose. Okay. Yeah, it's their brand. I'll pronounce it however they want. They make a good product. Cool, cool. So apparently that's how you pronounce it. Oh well. It's not the most fun pronunciation, but then again, who cares? Can erase that one. Come on. Whoa! Okay, no, that's not what I wanted. I think it's time to save. Okay, how are we doing in this chat room? Yeah, the screen is going to go blank for a minute while it saves and all that. Manga Studio is not very quick at that. But otherwise, it's an amazing piece of software, so... Okay. Yodel says that in Sweden there is a common first name spelled B-O-S-S-E, so they just pronounce it like that. Okay, and how do you pronounce it? Phonetic is not your first language. Okay. Well, I would pronounce it Bose, or well, that's how I would pronounce it. Okay. How are we doing on time? Okay, we got 12 minutes left on this broadcast. But it's coming along. It's coming along. Okay. So, let's see. Well, this is coming close to an end, and so if anybody has any questions they would like to ask before I'm done, now is the time. Ah, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck would? Well, I'm guessing part of the challenge there is reading that. I'm good at that kind of stuff. There are some very difficult ones, but I'm good at reading that kind of stuff. My answer to that question would be a lot. That would be the amount. The proper amount. I would say a lot, but still quite enough. Not more than needed, not less, just enough, which just so happens to be a lot. That would be my answer. So there you go. Okay, that's all you got? Okay. Okay. I'm good with that. Everybody else is quite quiet, but that always happens towards the end of the broadcast. Actually, I was meaning to ask you people about that. What do you think about the duration of the broadcast? Do you think it's a bit too long? I mean, it's all the same to me. I have to work anyway. This is what I do. So, but I was wondering, yeah, if the broadcast is too long, like, if this might benefit from making it a little bit shorter, or what do you guys think? No, I mean, I know, like, a lot of people just use this in the background and stuff like that, and I'm cool with that. But I was wondering, like, what do you guys think of the length here? Could it stand to be a little bit shorter, or what do you think? You know, I'm still polishing this whole thing, so I am very much at a point in the formula of these broadcasts where we can change anything we want. My idea, as soon as the semester's over, and the semester for me is over on November 3rd, which, by the way, there will not be a broadcast that day because I have to go early to the university and be there all day. So there's not going to be a broadcast on November 3rd. But anyway, as soon as the semester's over on November 3rd, for me, I'm going to start broadcasting this way in the morning and then again at night. Because there's a lot of people that can't watch this at this hour, and, you know, let's be fair. So I'm going to do this at night also. Time to ban a spam bot. There we go. So yeah, hopefully that'll help the channel grow and stuff when we can get people like on the other side of the schedule. Not sure how long my nighttime broadcast would be. And hopefully with the semester over, I'll have more time to do stuff. That means I'll have also some time to do like more random stuff on the broadcast. Like occasionally just draw whatever I feel like, or maybe maybe some nights I could draw like stuff from the audience, like whatever people from the audience want me to draw. That might work. That might be interesting. Get myself a little bit of that audience participation. Can't wait for the semester to be over. Here we go. Okay. And as soon as we're done with this hairy part from the background, we'll be done for today. Because it is 11:36. So, thank you everybody for watching. This was a lot of fun. I had myself a lot of good laughs today. It was fun to goof around with you guys, answer your questions, and also to read a little bit for you. If you guys like it, I'll do it again. I'll look into doing it also as a part of the channel, because I actually do enjoy doing that a lot. So you guys let me know if this is something you enjoy. Now, let's look for, so we can end this broadcast today, let's look for the most ridiculous song we can find. Ooh, I have an idea. No, wait, no, I actually don't. I was thinking about doing a dramatic reading of Gangnam Style, but then I just remembered that's in Korean, and I don't speak Korean, so yeah, that's not gonna work. Unless I learn Korean, not gonna be reading Gangnam Style, since kind of don't speak the language, so no. we need to fix something here, though. There's actually something here that we need to fix. Because this is where the knee bends, and we need to show it bending. So, okay. We're gonna fix that. Okay, so yeah. 11:38. There we go. It was, okay, that Manga Studio saving. There we go. So yeah, we spent a lot of time getting this skeleton here just right, but I'm actually happy with how he looks. And tomorrow we will be finishing this character by drawing the rest of the skeletons. I'll make sure I have the whole 3D thing ready and everything, so we have a nice productive day tomorrow. And after that, we'll start with some basic shading and see where that takes us. So, let's see. Okay. I think that's it for today. No proposals came in the chat room for me to read, so we're just going to leave that at that. I am Abnormal, and this has been the Ministry of... Hey, what's up? Oh, you came to say goodbye? Okay. Yes, I did. Okay, so anyway, I am Abnormal. This is the Ministry of Abnormality Twitch live broadcast for October 20th of 2015. This is the love of my life, Pixie. And thank you so much for joining us. Join us again tomorrow at 9 a.m. -5 Greenwich Meridian time, when we will be drawing again. And you guys have a great day. You want to say goodbye, Pixie? That's cool. Okay, now let's do the ridiculous thing so I can know when to cut. I'm going to... What am I going to do this time? Oh, okay. I'm just going to grab Pixie and... Okay, and that way I know I can cut the broadcast. Now we wait.